Ransomware, healthcare, HIPAA, FHIR, CMS, or CCPA, CPRA, GDPR, GRC. Regulations. The need for AES 256 encryption and connections via a secure proxy, securely read and access the encrypted data, is key. Ransomware protection requires the shortest latency possible to create and restore encrypted operational backups, preferably from secret clouds or on-premise locations. End-to-end encryption of personal information for e-commerce, websites, healthcare systems and APIs are available, as is data completeness and accuracy validation. Audit the relationships of column names and data values with probabilistic matching. The rejection of errored and missing data as well outliers and invalid data patterns enter a rejection file. Secure, decentralization of FHIR is needed. First, we are showing an RDBMS example of using data profiling results and/or pattern results to create a rejection file of the rows of data, where any of its data is in error, according to the user's selections. Here we view and select one or more tables to process against the table's columns. Here we are viewing that the email column data is AES 256 encrypted. Now we select the email column and uncheck the box so the process will only report and reject emails that are not of the proper format that we select. We are also selecting the country field and validating its completeness not being empty, being null or having all zeros. Now with the process completed, we click on the Ignore Report icon to view the results of data that may be in error and needs reviewing. We briefly see the profiling results, then to the Ignore or Reject report that also has the results written to a file system. We can see that the email values are showing encrypted as they are in their at-rest database. We also see the process flagged a row in email column where the email was not an accurate format. We also see there are some empty values in the country column. Now we are going to create and process a FHIR report. We are using the latest release 5 of FHIR and all 150 or so resources are available. We are using the search box to narrow in on each resource we want to process and the near 27,000 fields and subfields. We have first selected the patient resource and have added some fields for the report. Next, we are using the column search to narrow in on columns with a name in it. We are now viewing the results of the requested report. Now we are selecting to write the content of this report to the database or data lake of our choice and setting up the configuration and submitting the process to write the results to the selected database and table name. With the migration process complete, we are viewing the results of the report in the database table. Here we see the data is protected with AES 256 encryption. Next, we have selected to download the results to our personal device. We are prompted for 2 passwords. One is to protect the zip file that will be downloaded, and the other is to run a microservice to decrypt the secured, encrypted, downloaded file. Now as we attempt to open the downloaded zip file, we are prompted for our password. After entering the correct password, we now can see the expanded zip file. As we view the content of the downloaded FHIR data, we see it is encrypted and secured. Now we click on the microservice to create a decrypted file for our viewing, though first are prompted for the second password we created on the server in order for the encrypted secure microservice to decrypt the downloaded data for our viewing or other efforts. Now we are viewing the results of the microservice, the decrypted representation of the downloaded FHIR report data created by the user, and as expected, it is decrypted and viewable. Now we are populating the configuration of a file system validation run against Apache's HDFS file system. With the process complete, we click on the Ignore or Validation report to see the results. Here we see encrypted valid emails and acknowledgement of emails that may be in error. Now we will process the download of this report the same as we did earlier for the FHIR report. We are prompted for the zip password and the new password for the decryption microservice. Every time a new process is run, and new download are executed, there was a new encryption master key created and used for added security. As we extract the new zip file, we are prompted for the password to expand the zip files. As we can see, the downloaded report is fully encrypted for security. Now we click on the microservice to create a decrypted version of the report and once again prompted for the password we create. Now we are viewing the decrypted results by the microservice and see the decrypted values and associated notes of the validation run. This Spark 3.5, Java, Spring Swagger boot framework offers scalability, accuracy and speed. BDR's multi-factor authentication, AES 256 encryption of data and class code, prevents re-engineering of code. Reach BDR for more information at 847-440-4439.